bounce back. That's what we expect from him.
Luna, how do you feel like you guys have been handling some of the foul calls? As far
Game
as
7.
what you guys might perceive as no calls or their calls, or just
7,
managing
y'all.
the frustration of the whistles?
I think for the most part, this whole series, I think we did a pretty good job. Today some of the tempers flared a little bit, but I think overall we've been doing a pretty good job. They've been letting us play a little bit, so after we got used to that, I think we've been pretty locked in and doing a better job. We've been doing a good job not putting them on the free throw line, and but I think sometimes we just complain a little bit tonight, but overall I think we're doing a good job.
Kevon, with the Game 7 coming up so quickly, quick turnaround, what changes in terms of preparation and the kind of conversations you guys
Sacramento
have
Kings
for
are going
an
to a
elimination
Game
game?
7
I know we're going
against the Golden State
I won't
Warriors.
say we're going to treat it exactly the same, but we're going to watch a lot of film, get some rest, and
Right now, we're watching post-game interviews
get ready to play,
some of the
When
players.
it's a short turnaround like it is, there ain't too much you can do. We played this team
Kayvon Looney
6
up
times
here.
already, so we know what they're going to do. We know what to expect.
Talking about
go out there and execute.
Game 7 and what to expect.
That's it.
Their approach. Steve Kerr was up just a minute ago.
James
Now we got
Ham.
Malik Monk. Let's check out Malik Monk and see what he's talking about.
Just how good did you see the shots go down for you guys tonight, especially Kevin, who's been fighting through, and you had some big moments as well.
It was great, man. Especially seeing Kev hit a couple shots, especially in the crunch time too. Trey stepped up big, TD stepped up big. I'm gonna just continue to attack. So I don't care if my ball going or not. I'm gonna just continue to attack the rim and set my teammates up. So it was good seeing those guys hit shots.
Malik, Jake Aiden from CBS 13 over here. I asked you yesterday what did desperation look like for this team today, and you said we'll see. Was this the desperation you were expecting, and what does a Game 7 back at G1C mean to you?
Yeah, this is exactly what I expected, and I expect a little bit more from both teams in Goal 1. So we're gonna be prepared.
You guys really went small, changed up the rotation, spread the court.
Malik
more.
Monk,
What did
man,
that
he
do?
came up.
Oh yeah, man.
We would
It just
not have
opened
won this game without
opened the
Malik
court
Monk.
for
I'm
me
telling
and
you.
Fox. It opened everything up
Like
for us.
at all. We wouldn't even be in the series if it wasn't for Malik Monk.
And just hit shots, man, and that was big for us.
Brendan Nunez, Kings Herald. I think last game, Golden State had 60 points in the paint on just around 70% on those shots. Today was 36 for them on 18 of 45. What do you feel like led to that difference?
The pocket. We limited them getting in the pocket, and we limited shots at the rim too a lot. That was the big emphasis. And Draymond had a big game last game, and if we knew if we held him,
They played great defense tonight.
To not having a game like
That
that,
was the big difference today. The defense.
Malik,
They were going for loose balls. They were playing the passing lanes.
Big contribution in the rebounding department. Trey Lyles, I think he had 11. Keegan had 12, and that was a big help, with Sabonis being in foul trouble. Can you talk a little bit about, that gang rebounding that you guys been talking about all season?
Yeah, man. Looney been killing us this whole series, man. Yeah, I think he had like 20 back-to-back rebound games, and that was just the emphasis. Trey said he was going to hit him, and we just had to come back and get the rebounds. And
he said Looney been killing us this whole series. He ain't lying, though.
Kicker had 12.
They sure have been.
11. So, man, yeah, it was big. Trey had 10, too. So, yeah, we're gonna need that from those guys.
Hey, Malik. Colin Ward, Henninger, CBS Sports. I know you guys have confidence as a team, and you had a great regular season, but you don't really know how a team's going to perform in the playoffs until they get there. So to have a potential closeout game on the Warriors' home floor, what was the vibe around the team, and how do you think you're able to maintain your composure when the Warriors were going on their runs and things like that?
Having a coach like Mike, having vets like HB, Domas, Deli, they've been through the situation before. They've been through things like this, and we haven't. So just leaning on those guys, and they just helping us getting the spots, and Fox being Fox. So we're going to continue to lean on those guys.
Hi, Malik here. Ruth
Talking
from
about
Hispanic
coaching.
Sports Media.
Because this team doesn't have a lot of experience, you know what I mean, in playing in the playoffs. But I feel like, I honestly feel like that whole experience thing is so, like, overrated. You just got to go out there and play.
Listen to
You really do.
And, yeah, just blocking the noise out. Try to shut my social media off. Try to shut everything off.
He looks relaxed.
Turn my phone off, too, as well. just.
And I noticed that after in game 5, they didn't really look like stressed or like worried. Like post game, they look like, hey, we're just gonna come out.
And take this thing back to Sac.
We gotta win.
HB
You know, they did it.
you. And then the 1-2-3 win, that was HB as well.
Yep.
What can you speak to your mindset, like coming into this game, hostile environment, lots of pressure, the most first time you guys have faced an elimination game. Like, how do you come into this place and win a game, and how might that carry over to what you have to do on Sunday?
Not having any pressure, man. There's no pressure for us because then nobody think we'll be here. So we just go out there and leave it out. All on
no
the floor
pressure.
every game.
You hear that?
And just closing the game here, going back to Sac, just give us a little bit more confidence to show what we can do, man. We held them under 100 points, and that's hard to do with this team, especially they defended champs. So it just gives us a lot more confidence.
Malik, Steve Kroner from the San Francisco Chronicle. There's a saying that in North American sports, the two greatest words are Game 7. When you think about Game 7, what comes to your mind?
Man, I've never been to Game 7, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I just know I'm going to go out there and play 110%.
I love this attitude, man. I just want to go out there and play. Never been in Game 7.
And making plays for my teammates. So I'm going to be ready.
Malik, deaaron is doing some amazing things with that broken finger. I know he didn't score in the fourth quarter in that last game, but he's bringing it, and he's playing like it never happened. Can you talk a little bit about, him playing through this injury?
He's an all-star, man. All-stars going to do what all-stars do, and I think that's playing through injuries, just like Domas. Domas had a broken finger all year. Fox got one now. I had a little bump. Keegan had a little bump. Man, it's just basketball. Everybody's hurt right now. Ain't nobody trying to hear that, though, so we're just going to go out
Talking
there and
about
fight.
Injuries between De'Aaron Fox and
can you walk us through the start
Sabonis.
You talked about the
Like he said, he's been playing with a hurt hand pretty much the second half of the season.
Getting into the game really early on.
He got banged up earlier, got a black eye
starting strong,
from a foul they didn't call.
Because
But
we had one day.
man, I love the way the Kings
last
played
couple games,
today,
they had
man.
2-day break,
We're gonna talk
so,
about it more after these
we knew
interviews.
we can run them a little
Definitely
bit,
gonna talk
and
about it
we
more
took
after these
advantage of that
interviews for
tonight.
sure.
Yeah, I was going to kind of ask you specifically about that because it'll be even quicker turnaround for 7. Did you feel it yourself today that it was only one day, and did you feel it on them that it was only one day?
I felt it a little bit more on them. They was a little tired. We were a little younger than they are, so we knew we could take advantage of that. So we're going to try to do the same thing Sunday.
Hey, Malik, Tristy Rodriguez, NBC Sports California. Yesterday after practice, you were asked about your level of confidence heading into this game, and you said, we're confident, we're always confident. What is it about this team that allows you to be so confident facing elimination and this being the first playoff run for a lot of you guys?
People don't think we'll be here. Did nobody think we'll be here but us. So that's all the confidence we need coming in this crazy arena, man. It get crazy in here, it get loud in here too as well. And we the only people we got out there on the court. So we just pat each other on the back, get in the huddle, talk about it, and just stay together.
Sam, ESPN 1320.
De'Aaron Fox.
Game 7. Just how big is that for you guys to get this opportunity to learn, to grow, and to potentially, make it out of this first round?
I mean, like you said, it's a big opportunity. Everybody doesn't get to experience a Game 7, and not a lot of people get to experience a Game 7 in Sacramento. But for us, I mean, coming in here, we were worried about one game, and that was tonight. We wanted to hit first, hit second, hit third, hit last, and I think we did a good job at that tonight. I think, especially with our pace, I feel like we were in control basically the entire game tonight. And from start to finish, I feel like this is probably the best game that we've played this year.
De'Aaron, Chris Biederman, Sacramento. You just mentioned it being the best game you played all year. I mean, bench points, points in the paint, possession game, all that stuff. You guys beat them basically in every facet. How much of a focus were the little things coming into this, and how important were they?
It was huge, especially when you're playing on the road. Those are the things that you really want to be able to win. Obviously, we can't expect Steph to miss three free throws and Jordan to miss 2 free throws. I mean, those are two of the best free throw shooters in the league. But I think that the only critique that I really have about our game is my turnovers tonight, and then them shooting 35 free throws. Other than that, I feel like we basically played a perfect game, holding them to 31% from 3. Obviously, Steph still shoots over 40, but I don't know how often you can really keep him under that. But other than that, I feel like limiting other guys, we did a good job at that tonight.
de'Aaron, to see the guys off the over to the left over here, to see guys off the bench on the other side over. What's up, buddy?
Your left.
Oh, yeah, my bad. My bad. To see guys step up, Malik again, Trey Lyles, especially coming off the bench and playing that little small game. How big was that for you guys tonight?
It was huge. I mean, obviously that was an adjustment. Just trying to spread them out. Get Kevon and Draymond, who roams a lot. Try to get them out of the paint, and just attack the paint. And like you said, Mike said it before. There were times where we're getting too deep, and they have multiple guys around us, and we couldn't spray the ball out. So that was a big emphasis for us tonight, and I feel like that's the reason that we
Kings
got
play
so
so
many
well
good looks.
tonight, man.
This is probably the
They
best
have to
three-point
duplicate
shooting game that
this
we've had. I don't
performance
remember the
for
percentage
Game
the other
7
game,
at
but
home.
That was a big reason why.
We're going to talk about a couple things they need to do to
How
win
have you
Game
seen
7,
Keegan
but
grow throughout the course.
the blueprint
of
was
this
there tonight
series,
for
playing
sure.
all but 3 minutes tonight, and what does that say
I
about?
didn't notice. Damn.
The
what
blueprint
does that
was
say about
definitely
his
there tonight.
Future in this league.
I think we all know Keegan has a bright future. This being his first year, you're in a closeout game, and as a rookie, and you're playing 45 minutes. Obviously, we can talk about how he shot. But
Keegan's getting more confident.
He hit some big shots for us.
Definitely.
He was big in the beginning of the game for us. Also having 11 rebounds. He's out there chasing Clay at times. He's switching on a Steph. He's doing things that you're really expecting a vet to do. And he's having success. And he knows that we're going to continue to be confident in him regardless of how he's shooting. He hasn't had the best shooting series, but he's had big games for us. And he knows that we're going to continue to ride with him no matter what.
de'Aaron, Jason Anderson, Sacramento B. The two things. Number one, how did the finger feel tonight? Any better, any worse? And then secondly, I'm curious just what you guys are kind of learning about yourselves through this run to come in here and show some resilience and get a big win like this.
I feel fine. Obviously at times it's going to hurt, but that is what it is. But for us, like I said, coming into this game, we knew our backs against the wall, especially coming in here, which this is one of the toughest places to play in the league. We knew that we had to do the little things. Like I said, I've said it before.
Backs definitely were against the wall tonight.
At
They
times,
showed up.
You're just not going to make shots. Even in the series, I feel like we haven't shot the ball well, but we did all the little things that we felt like we needed to do to put ourselves in position to win this game. And we got quality looks, and we made them. So I feel like that was really the name of the game. We had 18 offensive rebounds. You're going to have a great chance to win. Even if you're not shooting the ball well, you're going to have a great chance to win if you're getting 18 extra shots.
18 offensive rebounds. Wow.
10 steals. They're 20 turnovers. Like Mike said, we talk about the possession game. That's huge. 20 turnovers and we almost had 20 offensive rebounds. We definitely put ourselves in position to win this game.
It's a daunting task for Sacramento, but they've been great on the road all season. Best road record in the West, second best in the NBA. Struggles a bit with his dribble.
Yeah, so they're showing some highlights of the game. Man, so Sacramento Kings win 118-99 on the road, Game 6, to bring it back home for Game 7. It's do or die for both teams. We're going to see who moves on to the next round. The Lakers are playing right now as this video is live, as the stream is live. The score is 51-32. Lakers are up. Just got a steal. It's looking like the Lakers, I don't know. Still got still got a lot of basketball to play. Still have 2 quarters left, but Lakers look like they want to move on. We got Mike Brown at the podium. Let's see what he has to talk about.
We've been talking about playing with pace, not just in the full court, but in the half court as well. We've been talking about being physical, as best we can without fouling, and on both sides, not just defensively, but even offensively, setting screens to get your teammates open, trying to play through contact because they're not going to call a lot of fouls, and stuff like that. And And so I applaud our guys for continuing.
They're definitely not calling other fouls. I'm glad he's preaching that and letting his players know that.
You know, the big thing that's hurt us in the past is the second chance points.
Yep.
And, you know, our guys did a great job of trying to put bodies on bodies. They had 8 second chance points to our 18. You know, our pace, we got to keep running. And tonight I thought we got out in transition and we got to our spots and we sprayed the ball. You know, it's no secret what we're trying to do. We're trying to touch the paint and spray the ball, and we want them to continue to do what good teams do. If somebody's about to get beat, you got to come help. And so we got to have the discipline to try to make sure that
Mike Brown is out coaching Steve Kerr.
Find an open guy. Because
I just feel like there's some of these shots just aren't falling the last few games.
If we can get up 53s, great. That's what we're trying to do. But we want the spray threes. You know, a lot of guys stepped up for us. You know, Foxy's Foxy. You know,
he said he wants to get up 53s. Wow.
Big night
I mean, yeah, you shoot 30%.
You know, Keegan with the 12 rebounds. You know, we needed every single one of his rebounds, and then Domas with 9 offensive rebounds. That was huge. But our bench was really big. You know, you talk about you know,
9 offensive rebounds. That's where we were lacking the last few games. Offensive rebounds,
the whole playoffs,
effort,
and
boxing out.
We thought he did a great job of touching the paint and spraying it. But just as importantly, you know, his 6 rebounds were huge, and his ability to get to the free throw line were huge. And then obviously Trey. Trey was fantastic. He had 10 rebounds himself, and you know we told him, hey, if you're open, just let that thing go. And then
Trey
TD,
Lyles, man,
TD was great. He hadn't played much this.
We would not have won this game if it weren't for Trey Lyles.
He came in and he did a heck of a job trying to make whoever he had to guard work.
Terrence Davis came through, played good defense.
Big win by our group today.
Effort,
tonight.
Energy.
What told you to go small and spread it out, and how did you just see it impact the game?
I got two guys on my staff. They drove me freaking crazy in our last meeting. Robbie Lemons is our analytics coach. He was the one that kept beating my freaking head in to do this. And Luke Laux, you know, and you know we were all on board with it, but those 2 guys were probably the most adamant, and not necessarily. With Trey, we all felt we wanted to go to Trey, but just mainly hey, let's just keep shooters on the floor, touch the paint and spray it, and we felt that, you know, Looney's been kicking our behind, so you know it's.
I definitely feel like,
you know,
the rotations tonight helped.
From time to time would hurt us on the glass because
there's some things that they're going to have to continue to do next game.
You know,
to win.
I give my entire coaching staff a lot of credit.
We're going to talk about that after these press
Robbie
conferences.
Lemons, our analytics coach, and Luke Laux, who's our 4th assistant. They're the 2 that really got on my nerves about it.
Mike, James Hammett, ESPN 1320. With Keegan, did you come into the game thinking that you might play him somewhere around 45 minutes? And just how impressed are you with his ability to shake off? He had a really good start offensively and kind of quieted down again, but he stayed in the game and kind of mentally stayed in the game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he had 12 rebounds. That was huge, and you know we need him to be physical. I mean, I don't know if he did. You know, he took a big charge
rebounds.
For us.
Wow.
I think Trey took a big
I did not
charge.
realize
so
that.
The physicality, the ability to come over and trap the box and sacrifice your body was huge, and Keegan was a big part of that. And at the end of the day, Jane, you know they got to guard him, because if you go to help and you don't get to him quick enough, he gonna make that shot. And so I came in consciously knowing that, you know what, I'm gonna live with Keegan, and whatever happens, because at the end of the day, at worst case scenarios, this is
I'm gonna live with Keegan,
valuable
yeah.
experience for him.
Mike, Chris Biederman, Sacramento B. deaaron called this sort of a perfect game for you guys, and you can go down the list.
Yeah, that's how you get players' confidence moving forward. Yeah,
offensive rebounds, et cetera, et cetera.
I love that call.
Do you think this is the best overall floor game that you've gotten from your guys this season?
Yeah, this is a really good game by our guys. They competed. Not only that, we've been telling them all series, hey, touch the paint, touch the paint, touch the paint, and look to spray it, get off it, but do it by coming to a 2-foot jump stop because, Draymond's so good on the backside, Loon's so good on the backside, and they all have active hands, and so they're swiping down at the ball. And I told our guys, you know what, we're not getting a call. This is like a UFC championship fight. In the UFC, if you're the challenger and you're fighting a champion, you can't outpoint them. You can't out-decision them. You got to go take it from them. And we can't be, soft with the ball and think because we got hit on the arm that they're going to call it. Because
they stayed locked in
their hand,
like the whole
in their
game.
officials' hands, and it ain't going to go our way for sure.
Yeah.
Mike, Jake Eaton from CBS 13, to have Game 7 in your building,
Exactly.
how much does that mean to this team and confidence-wise to be able to actually win the series?
That's part of the reason why we busted our behind all year. Trying to get as good of a record as you can during the regular
Game
season.
7, man. Let's go.
Hopefully,
man.
will help benefit you in situations like this. And we're excited. We're going to go back home for Game 7. We're going to play in front of our fans, and our fans are going to be excited. And the town and the organization definitely deserve this. Now we just got to go out there and try to get it done.
Brendan Nunez, Kings Herald. You guys held Golden State to 38 points in the paint on 18 of 45, and last game it was 60 for them on borderline 70% from the field. Just what was the difference there, and how essential was that tonight?
They've been killing us in the pocket. They've been killing us in the
Aggressiveness.
pocket the whole series.
Just
and,
getting to that ball.
They had got a lot of back doors and stuff like that, and we just said we're going to try to take that away as best we can. And I give Domas a lot of credit because it started with him, and then Trey a lot of credit too. We tried as best we can to do it, and our guys did a fantastic job executing the game plan with the changes we made, and it was part of the reason why we got the win.
Mike, to your right, Ruth Vivas for Hispanic Sports Media.
Oh.
This has been the most even series
Yes,
of the playoffs thus far. It's only fitting that it goes to Game 7. What do you guys need to do at home to win it?
We got to play with physicality on both ends of the ball. I don't have any magic dust. We got to play with physicality offensively, defensively. We got to be strong with the ball offensively. We got to make sure that they feel us defensively. We got to box out, and then we got to get out and run. We got to play fast, not just in the full court, but in the half court as well. We got to have a pace about us that is going to help create some separation so we can get some
Play
looks.
fast. I thought it was funny that Steve Kerr wanted to slow the game down.
We need to let it fly. If you're open, I don't care. Let that thing go.
That was interesting.
And Mike, you know this Golden State team inside and out, and you also know the history and how they have been in Game 7s. What kind of energy and what kind of game do you guys need to beat them in a Game 7?
We're going to have to play at our best. I mean, they again, they're the champions. We're going to have to play at an elite level for 48 minutes against these guys because they're going to bring it. Trust me, they're going to absolutely frickin' bring it from the beginning to the end of the game because, both teams know that their back's against the wall. And they've been through it. They've had the experience of figuring it out, and so we're going to have to
Mike Brown, he's so poised.
All the things that
just
that I've been
calm.
talking about.
Like in every situation, win, lose.
Mike, deaaron and Malik both mentioned that they felt like.
But I
maybe
think
the
that
Warriors,
bleeds
like,
over to the team as
were a
well.
little tired tonight. There was one game between this and the last game. There's one game between now and Sunday. Is that part of the thinking and going small and demanding that you guys continue to push the pace? Are you hoping that maybe creates an advantage for you at the end of this series?
No, we just felt going small. They're good. Like I said, we just felt going small with the guards we have. We'd be able to get downhill, and they can play make. And Trey gave us that ability because, if the reality of it is, obviously they switched Loon on to Foxy. Foxy's got to go make a play against Loon. If Loon wants to be down the floor, Trey's got to pick and pop and shoot it. I don't care if he goes 0 for 10. He got to shoot the ball, And so for us, we do want to play as quick as we can. We said if we could play tomorrow. I don't know if I can say that, but I guess I did. If we could play tomorrow, we play tomorrow, But we want to keep pushing the ball, not just because it's the Warriors. I mean, that's how we played all year. We played fast all year, and in order to beat teams in the playoffs, all these teams are great. We got to even try to find a way to play faster while trying to play some defense too.
Hey, Coach, over to your left, Tristy Rodriguez, NBC Sports California. With Keegan's early start and then Kevin getting his shots to fall finally later in the game, it seemed like the first time fans watching got to see both your best shooters do their thing in the same game. How
Kevin
important will that
Huerter,
be
man.
in Game 7 for both of those guys to get going?
If he can have a big game.
And more than get going, they both got to shoot when they're open. So that's the first thing. And then on top of that, they can't hesitate. And on top of that, I mean, obviously, the more that they get going, that's the less pressure it's on Fox and Domas to try to have to score. Because they're going to pay a lot of attention to Fox. They're paying a lot of attention to Malik. And those guys are doing a great job of getting downhill. And so they're going to have some opportunities to get some spray threes. And so, to help us out if they can make them. But more than making them, they got to make sure they take them. But we got to make sure we find them, too.
Hey, Mike. Matt George, ABC 10. Speaking of Kevin Huerter, he seemed relieved to finally get some of those shots to go. You've stuck with him and let him kind of work his way through this over the course of this series. How, not necessarily relieved, but how satisfying is it for you to finally see him get a couple big buckets, important buckets, especially there at the end of the game?
Well, like I said, he's just got to keep shooting the ball, and we have to keep trying to find ways to get him involved, because he's a tireless worker offensively, and his movement creates a lot of separation and gravity to get other guys open. And so, obviously making shots, you feel good about that. But the biggest thing that I like is, he hadn't shot it well, but he's continued to take them. Like he didn't hesitate tonight, and our guys continued to try to find them. So, you give the group a lot of credit, but you give him more credit than anything else because, there's a confidence level you have to have in order to be in his position, and he definitely showed that tonight.
Hey, Coach. Colin Ward-Henninger, CBS Sports. It's clear listening to your players that they've been drilled on the game plan, and it's clear that they executed it tonight. That's just one side of a game like this. How did you feel about how they responded emotionally in what could have been a closeout game?
It's great. We obviously, as a group, haven't been through stuff like this yet. And so, at the end of the day, every experience that we go through during this playoff run, good and bad, it's a fantastic, fantastic learning experience for us. And so, I applaud our guys with the way they handled, everything, especially the outside noise. We've been a group that hadn't listened to the outside noise at all throughout the course of the year because, every sports media person out there, and I would do the same thing if I'm in your guys' shoes, but, they don't give us a chance, which is fine. Like I said, we got to go earn it. And tonight I thought our guys did a good job earning it, but the job's not done. So we got to see how we're going to respond in Game 7 for the first time as a group.
Scott Marsh, Sacktown Sports. You talk about wanting to play quicker. Can you play any quicker than you did to start the game tonight? It seemed like Sabonis was a man on fire to start the game, and you guys really got going. Malik mentioned you guys had really talked about getting off to a really quick start tonight.
Yeah, it's a long game, and so I don't really – it's obviously you want to, if you can be up at any time, you want to be up. I would take that any day of the week. But when I'm talking about playing faster, I'm talking about throughout the whole course of the game, like our pace. We want to go. We want to go. We want to go every single time if we can. And then in the half court, when we're making our cuts and our reads and all that, it's got to be boom, right now, with a sense of urgency.
That's one thing. That's what the Warriors are good at.
And if we could do that for as close to 48 minutes.
He's trying to duplicate that because he was over there with them, so he knows how they do it.
Looks, and then at the end of the day, you just hope the looks go in.
Mike, you had that overtime win in Minnesota. I think Domas fouled out late, and then you went to Trey at the 5, and you sort of talked about it afterwards as being able to keep that in your back pocket. And it sounds like you were a little bit reluctant, even in this situation, to pull it out. Why the reluctance on your part, and what counter adjustments could you expect for Game 7 from Steve?
I said that I was great with Trey. I talked to Jordy about the Trey thing, as soon as we lost game 5. We just said, I just told Jordan, hey, I'm going to spread it out. But, putting TD on the floor, even extending Kevin's minutes, that's what I'm talking about, that Robbie and Luke beat over my head. So, but the Trey thing, Jordan and I had talked about that right after our Game 5 loss, possibly happening. We didn't know, at the end of the day, we still need to watch the film and all that other stuff, but the more we watched it, the more we talked as a group, that's the more we liked the idea, and my reluctance was, Davion's done a great job. He's busted his behind, and obviously he was the one that he was the one whose minutes got cut in order to keep Kevin on the floor longer. Not only Davion, even HB, those guys, their minutes were cut, to bring TD and play him more, to keep Keegan out there
Rotations
longer,
were
Trey,
great tonight for the Kings,
and to keep Kevin out there longer. And so, again, that more so was Robbie and Luke suggestion that I was a little hesitant initially, but the more they beat it over my head, I relented, obviously. Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Mike Brown. The guy Clay. Let's see what Clay has to say.
You'd won a road game 28 straight time. What's the level of disappointment to not finish this off at home, knowing you got a quick turnaround for Game 7? It's on the road again. What's the emotion right now?
Well, when I said that was the best win of the season on Game 5, this is probably the worst loss of the season. But there's no time to hang our heads. I didn't play very well tonight. 3 turnovers, minus 28 is awful. Luckily for us, we still have another crack at it, and I still have.
He said he didn't play very well. I thought he did.
Get it done on the road. It will be a tall task, but we are up for it, and I know we will respond.
Clay, I have 2 questions for you. The first, Steve talked about how he was really trying to harp on just be ready for the level of aggression that the Kings were going to be playing with, the desperation. Do you feel that you guys were ready for that?
I don't think so. We let them get out to an 8-0 lead, and we had a lot of miscommunication in transition, too many easy layups for them. Beat us up on the boards. So it's up to us to go to
Game 5, everything just went their way. That's how I knew the Kings were going to win tonight, because you can't duplicate that.
I know this team. I know these guys. Have played at the highest level with them, and I know what we're capable
I feel like the Warriors play well too, but
we will respond like the champions we are come Sunday.
My second question, as a fellow shooter, as a mentor to a young guy like Jordan, what do you tell him, when he's having a game like this where it's just not falling?
We've all been there. Like, I've had terrible slumps during the playoffs, Olympics, at the highest level. Jordan's only 23 years old. Like, we lose as a team, we win as a team. So it wasn't on just JP tonight. He could come out and get 30 effortlessly on Sunday. So he just got to keep his confidence up. He's a great player, and he helped us win a championship last year. And if we want to do that again, he will do the same this year. So it's up to us to come in with the right mindset on Sunday and empty the clip.
Clay, the energy level seemed kind of low in the building with the team, and I'm just wondering, do you think it had anything to do with the time of the game, the quick turnaround? Or is there anything
energy
you can
didn't
do
seem
to
low at all.
combat that? You have less than 48
Got his
hours
loss.
turnaround this time.
Yeah, just realize that we're trying to defend our throne, and
or maybe they thought the Kings were going to lay down. I don't know.
We've had plenty of bad losses on this dynastic run we've been on, but this is not the 4th loss of a series. This is the 3rd, and it's first to 4th. So we're right there, and we know we can go get one on the road. And as a basketball player, especially an NBA player, you cherish moments like the one we have coming up as far as a Game 7 in the playoffs. I know I will, and I know the rest of the guys will.
Clay, how would you kind of just summarize how big Moses has been off the bench so far in this series? He's seemingly ready whenever his number's called.
He's been incredible. His energy, his rebounding, his defense. I mean, I love Mo. He's a true pro, and you never guess he was 20 or 21 years old, whatever he is. And I know he'll make big contributions going forward. But, yeah, Mo's just been ready, and that's what you ask of a young player, just to stay ready.
Clay, the Kings appear to have made an adjustment, specifically the small ball. Did you guys have a little trouble with that, or was there something else there that, was causing issues?
Well, I mean, based off the 20-point loss, I think there is a safe answer of yes. But the playoffs are all about adjustments, and we'll make the necessary adjustments to win the game on Sunday.
Clay, what do you remember about that Game 7 on the road in Houston, 2018? It's the only time you've had a Game 7 on the road.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been a part of a few games. No, we had a Game 7 against the Clippers that we lost in 2014.
That one, it was with Steve era, but yeah.
I remember it was just a gutsy performance by Steph, by Kevin, Draymond. Nick Young hit a big bucket. I mean, I was in foul trouble, but stayed ready, hit some big buckets to the end. I just remember how hostile the environment was. They wanted to see their team go to the finals for the first time since probably, I think, 94 it was.
Clay is definitely not the defender he used to be.
Type of environment on Sunday, but
I will say that. I've noticed that, this series for sure. He can still shoot.
Out on top.
You mentioned defending champions. Do you ever allow yourself to think about the other stuff that might be at stake? Draymond could be a free agent. Bob Myers, whether this stays together, whether it should stay together.
Nah, that's not my job to speculate. My job is just to get ready, play to the best of my ability, and have fun while doing it, and just play my heart out every time I step on that floor and put the Warriors uni on.
All right, that was Klay Thompson. Steph coming up. There goes Steph.
I mean, we didn't execute the way we wanted to. I don't know how it looked on the court. Obviously, you're in the fight and you're trying to, bring that competitive spirit, knowing how tough a closeout game is and knowing that they were going to play with a lot of desperation. We just had a lot of kind of mental errors, and they took advantage of it and grabbed momentum early. I don't know if that was an energy thing or a focus thing or whatever it was, but you have to be able to learn those lessons quick.
Damn, Lakers are smacking.
Put ourselves in a situation where
the Grizzlies 68-45.
We have to be the team that's playing with desperation, obviously on the road in a Game 7, and
they trying to wrap it up.
There's a lot of belief that we can do that. There's a lot of belief in every single guy that's going to be out there on the floor, that we can make the necessary adjustments. And if it is an energy thing, that's something that you can control and correct it. So you got to embrace the challenge of what's in front of us, and try to go get the job done.
They win.
Go ahead. Knowing how much you guys wanted to win this game and close it out, being at home, how concerned are you that some of the things you just mentioned were not where they needed to be to win the game?
I mean, a loss exposes a lot of things because, when you go look at the film and you see where the improvements need to be made, like, you got to be honest with yourself around what it was. So I felt like we were all on the same page yesterday when we were kind of preparing for the game and understanding what the task at hand was. Just didn't do it. So I'm not concerned at all. It's just, the playoffs presents a lot of challenges and a lot of different scenarios you find yourself in, and the great teams figure it out, and that's the opportunity that's in front of us. I keep saying it's an opportunity because we have another game to play. We allowed ourselves at least that, and now we have to again take advantage.
Steph
of
and Klay's demeanor is interesting.
The get right game, and knowing how hostile that environment's going to be. Come with the right focus, come with the right mentality, and like I said, I got the utmost faith that we can do it.
That old Golden State stigma of like, oh, we got this. Like I'm not really feeling that from them right now. They know they can get beat by this team.
Series. How did that affect the game?
They made some nice adjustments to try to, like you said, give their guards, Fox, Monk, give them space to try to drive. Keegan got loose early. Herder hit some shots, late, and it was a different look. So they have the ability to do that with certain personnel, and they push those buttons and it works. So we have to be able to make the adjustments because you assume it's going to be the same or a similar vibe. So that's the fun part about a series. You see a little bit of everything, and that's why there's 7 games.
They've also been pretty transparent about they're just trying to run as much as possible. And these now at the end of the series, it's a lot shorter between games, including 12:30 tip Sunday. Was there any extra fatigue today with the style of play of the series, and also obviously a much quicker turnaround?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to ask everybody individually. It felt great and know we can keep up with that pace if we play with our brains at the same time and understand how we can be effective on the defensive end, not turn the ball over, and just connect the game a little bit better than we did tonight. It's very indicative of just whatever was lacking in the first play of the second half. Nobody got matched up. Keegan Murray's wide open for 3. Like, that's not pace thing. That's just being connected. So those are the little things you're going to have to fix if we want to get out of the series, and I know we can.
Steph, what do you say to someone like Jordan right now?
We need him, and he's more than capable, and he's shown, the ability to impact games. And, the biggest thing for all of us, JP included, is that next play mentality that is so important, at this level, not just in the 82-game schedule, but also, in a playoff series where you don't have to be kind of a victim of the last game. You always can kind of bounce back. And I have nothing but confidence in his ability to do that and understand, to bring the right energy for this next game. So, we've all kind of been there and been through those growing pains of a playoff experience, and it happens. But we all can play better, and we all got to play better if we're going to win on Sunday.
Steph, you guys haven't had a Game 7 on the road very often. Do you remember your last one in Houston? And can you take something out of that?
I mean, yes and no. There's only a few
reporters be
guys
asking
that are in
stupid
that,
questions.
Scenario, but it's every possession is important. How you start, how you think your way through the game, staying locked in on the schemes that we're gonna come with for the night. But it's more so just the competitive spirit. Like, you don't got to overthink it either. It's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just that it's the last game for one of these two teams, and coming out with a sense of composure is a big thing, especially if you're on the road, because it's going to be hostile, and their crowd's going to be into it, and there's going to be
Man, I might have to
ways.
try to get into this Game 7. I ain't going to lie.
Composed.
I might got to go to this game.
But it's just basketball.
Not going to lie. That's going to be crazy.
Steph, well, I just wanted to get your assessment of Malik Monk, because he's their energy guy. Trey Lyles, did some things there in that second
Appreciate
quarter.
y'all in here checking us out with me.
Monk, he
Tap
did
in
talk
on the
about
chat,
desperation
too.
yesterday in
Tap in the
Sacramento.
chat. Follow, subscribe,
this
do all
game
that.
here, but he brought it tonight. Just wanted to get your thoughts about him.
Going to be making a commentary after this video.
I mean, he's been an X factor in their wins, and when we've contained him, I think most of those games we've come out with the win. Even Game 5, he got hot a little bit down the stretch, but the first half we kind of kept him in check. So it's just a matter of locking in on his energy. He comes in, he plays aggressive, he looks to score, he was hitting his threes tonight. We kind of gave him too many open looks, so you obviously have to key in on him. And the way that they mixed up their lineup, he's featured a lot more, so got to make the adjustments.
Hey, Steph, do you want to talk about the free throw you missed tonight? Do you guys under a lot of pressure tonight?
You said what?
Free throws you missed.
The free throws that I missed?
Yeah.
Oh, it happens.
Do you guys under a lot of pressure tonight?
Nah, it's more, that's basketball, and again, next play mentality. It's something I've lived by since, my days at Davidson, and carry that mentality. Miss free throws, lost, games that you lose, whatever, you have another opportunity to come back. So maintain the confidence in your abilities.
Hey, Steph, because it is a Game 7, just wondering, will you say anything to the guys to make sure that they're playing free and loose and not kind of feeling the pressure of a Game 7?
He's like, no.
For sure. But that's to be expected, knowing what's at stake. And you just want to make sure everybody's on the same page about what we're trying to do out there. So it'll be a fun, 36 hours, whatever it is, to get ready for the game. Mentally, vocally, physically, everybody getting their rest, knowing it's going to be a dogfight, and we got to be ready for it.
You mentioned coming out with a sense of composure, and at times throughout this season, that's kind of been an issue, setting the tone early and stuff. How do you just ensure that you guys do get off on the right foot and don't, play catch up?
Whoever our starting five is, it's on us to set the tone for how we're playing and accept the responsibility of that. And again, play with a sense of desperation, but a sense of, I use the word composure, because that is, you don't want to get too riled up and get outside of yourself. Like I said, it's just basketball. We know what to do. We have an identity of who we are when we're playing our best basketball, and if we can find that, I like our chances. And that's all you can think about. So that's the message. That's the goal, and it's gonna be fun. Like, embrace it. We're still playing basketball and still have an opportunity to get out this series.
All right, that was Steph Curry, and I believe he's the last one to come up. I will be making a post-game commentary with my boy. We're about to do that right now. About to end this current live stream, but I appreciate everybody who tapped in. Be sure to subscribe, comment, let me know what you think about the game, the interview, anything anybody said, during the post-game presser. And I will be back real quick, actually, like right now. So appreciate it. Thank y'all.